Hey everybody, welcome back to Appalachia Cemetery Hunting. Today's going to be our third and our final video on the Cade's Cove Primitive Baptist Church Cemetery that's located in the Great Smoky Mountains of East Tennessee. And so far, we have found so much history. I just love it. We found first settlers, among other things. So let's go ahead and get started with this. We've got Henry Frederick Shields, known as Fed, 1813 to 1885, and his wife, Mary Polly Oliver Shields, 1817 to 1892. I have seen Polly. I'm doing my own ancestry, and I've seen Polly in a lot of names in this. It must have been a popular name back in this era, but here's a picture of them. She was a mother of 15, including one set of twins and also a set of triplets. Tell me that woman didn't have her hands full. Next we have Henry H. Shields, 1817 to 1891. And during the Civil War, Henry served with several of his neighbors in the pro-Union Home Guard for Cade's Cove. The Home Guard, if anyone didn't know, it defended the Cove from Confederate raiders from the North Carolina area. In late 1864, during one of their skirmishes, Henry was wounded and his left arm was rendered useless. Now we have John Marshall Shields, 1840 to 1879. And look how worn out the carving is on his headstone. We have Martha Jane Oliver Shields, 1819 to 1864. Richard Harrison Shields. We don't have a birth date for him, but he died in 1873. And to us, he looks like his headstone was shaped like an old-time coffin. If you look closely, there is a coffin-shaped carving below the inscription. I'll give you just a few seconds to look at that. And now we have Robin Shields. We have no dates for this person, but you can tell from the photo of this headstone, it's really old. We have Robert Shields, 1784 to 1850, and he was possibly one of the first settlers in Cade's Cove. So that's an oldie right there. We have William Henry Will Shields, 1859 to 1902. We have a picture of him. Also is James H. Schuler, 1832 to 1895. And James served as a sergeant in Company F of the 29th North Carolina Infantry in the Confederate Army during the Civil War. Now we have Jane Liza Potter Sparks, 1828 to 1925. And we actually have her picture. We have Lavina Myers Sparks, known as Vina, 1886 to 1908. And boy, did she have a beautiful carving on her headstone. That's gorgeous. We have Nathan H. Sparks, 1828 to 1891. And here's a photo of his original headstone. And of course, we have a picture of the newer one. Now, Nathan served in the 1st Company of Volunteer Infantry in the Union Home Guard during the Civil War. And later, he served as the Justice of the Peace for the same area. Now is Charles Edward Sprinkle, 1935 to 2019. And this is pretty cool. He was a retired industrial engineer with nearly 40 years of service at NASA's spaceflight Center in Redstone Arsenal in Huntsville, Alabama. The highlight of his career was mission manager for Space Shuttle Flight STS-50 on board the shuttle Columbia in 1992. I'm going to post a few pictures here of the mission. This is a photo of the crew of the Columbia. And here's liftoff. Here's a view of it in orbit. And the Columbia landing at Kennedy Space Center in Florida for the first time ever due to bad weather at Edwards Air Force Base in California. That's some cool history right there. Okay, now we have John J. Tipton, 1816 to 1881. He actually died in Missouri, but was brought back to Cade's Cove to be buried. And then his wife, Naomi Abbott Tipton, 1831 to 1891. And we have a picture of her. We have Nathaniel Hampton Tipton, 1849 to 1901. And this Nathaniel served in the 15th District Home Guard during the Civil War. Now is David P. White, 1837 to 1896. He migrated from South Carolina. And Mary A. Polly, there's another Polly, McGinley White, 1844 to 1907. Henry Whitehead, 1851 to 1914. And his wife, Matilda Shields, they called her Tilda, 1842 to 1924. And he was a carpenter, and he built this home just for her. And here's a photo of her and some of her grandchildren. And then we have a recent photo of their cabin here in Cade's Cove. Now we have Isaac Taylor Whitehead, also known as IT, 1853 to 1932. His wife, Mary Jane Gregory, 1860 to 1940. And here they are with some of their children. In the back row, left to right, we got Clemmy, Russie, Frank, and Martha. And in the front row, left to right, we have Francis on Taylor's lap, Mary Jane, and NB. The picture was taken in the front room of their home in Cade's Cove, and it was probably around 1910. Isn't that cool? We have Caleb Abraham Wilcox Sr., 1833 to 1897. And we have a picture of his wife, Elizabeth Caroline Shell Wilcox, 1835 to 1905, but we don't have a picture of her grave. Now is Mary Ann Birchfield Wilcox, 1853 to 1928. And here is a picture of her as just a young girl. And we're guessing that it looks like this photo was taken probably around 1860. She was the daughter of Sam, Daddy Smoke, if you remember that name from our previous video, and Mary Polly Schuler Birchfield. And this is a picture of her later in life. We have G.G. Wilson, 1880 to 1914. Lucretta Eveline Creasy is what they called her. Creasy Whitehead Wilson. That's a mouthful. 1849 to 1916. And we have a picture of her. Now is Elmer Edward Wright, 1879 to 1925. And lastly, they are 36 graves with uninscribed headstones. Nobody knows who they are, but God knows. So that's sad, but families grow off and they move out and die off, unfortunately, and they're forgotten. But like I said, only God knows. And this is going to finish up our series on the Cade's Cove Primitive Baptist Cemetery, and it's in the heart of the Great Smoky Mountains National Park. We really hope that you guys have liked this series just on this little, Baptist Church Cemetery itself. This is not going to be the end of our Smoky Mountain Cemetery series, but I have really enjoyed doing this cemetery and finding the history and the people that lived there, the hard times they went through. We hope you really enjoyed this. Like I said, hit that like and subscribe button if you don't care. And we appreciate you so much. And thank you all for all your great, nice comments that you've been leaving. And we'll see you next week with a new video in the Smoky Mountains of Tennessee. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye-bye.